The Detroit Pistons are now down 3-1, but get ready for today's episode. The Pistons got absolutely screwed, and I'm about to lose it. Get ready. Locked On Pistons coming soon.
You are Locked On Pistons, your daily Detroit Pistons podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's the deal? Welcome back to another episode of the Locked On Pistons podcast. Per usual, I'm your host, Cade Cunningham. You can find me over on Twitter at Cade Cunningham. I want to thank you guys for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We're free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons. Hit that subscribe button or leave us a 5-star review. Whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. And today's episode is brought to you by Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Turn any TV into your Xbox. No console needed. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to learn more. Head over to LockedOnDaily.com. Type in your email. You'll get a Locked On Pistons Daily newsletter along with your Locked On Pistons Daily podcast. Check the description down below for the Substack where you'll get film breakdowns. I'll have one out for you guys hopefully Monday morning over the last 2 games for the Detroit Pistons. Also get written analysis from myself as well. Or if you want to watch Pistons games with me and the rest of the Pistons fan base, click the link down below for the playback room. It's been a lot of fun during these playoff games. All right, enough of all that. I'm about to lose my stuff, man. The Pistons just lost this game on Sunday. They're down 3-1. They're down 3-1 now. The series is effectively over. The series is effectively over. I know I have in the third segment we'll talk about is the series over. I'll go ahead and spoil it for you now. It's effectively over. The Pistons aren't coming back 3-1. The Pistons aren't coming back 3-1. It's rarely been ever done in the history of the NBA. The Pistons, who are out-talented right now against the Knicks, are not coming back from 3-1. It's not happening. So the series is effectively over now. They lose this game because the referees, someone needs to check their FanDuel accounts. Someone needs to check their FanDuel accounts. They absolutely just screwed the Detroit Pistons out of a series they could win. I'm not saying if they win this game, the Pistons win. I'm not saying that the Pistons win the series for sure if they win today's game. What I am saying is if the refs make a call at the end of this game, the series is up in the air. It's for anybody. Anyone has a chance. And this series has been incredibly fun. This has been an incredibly close and fun series. It's probably been the best series next to the Clippers-Nuggets series for just NBA fans. Having this series still be up in the air is what NBA fans would have wanted. But at the end of this game, the Pistons are down by 1. Cade, ISO at the top of the key for his OG. Anunoby crosses over, gets a clean look at the midi. He should have hit the shot. He misses it. He got his jumper. He got a clean look. He got to his spot. The midi, free throw line extended. He got exactly where he wanted to go. He missed it. If he makes it, are we talking about this? Probably not. Are the Pistons winning? Probably so. They probably win if Cade hits it. So Cade does need to hit that shot. It's tough that he missed it. It's tough. He got the shot he wanted. He has to hit it. But then after that, the Pistons get the offensive rebound. THJ ends up with a 3 in the corner. Josh Hart flies out at THJ in the air, bumps him off his platform, hits him with both his arms coming down, throws him off his platform on a 3-point attempt, and no foul is called. No foul is called on that play. Knicks win. This is the exact same call that Jalen Brunson got twice, not once, twice at the end of game 1. This is the exact same call that at the end of the fourth quarter in game 1, I believe it also happened in game 2, but I know for sure it happened in game 1. Exact same call Jalen Brunson got in New York. The exact same one. And this one was worse. This one was by far worse. This wasn't jump in the air and you put your hands back and try to avoid contact. Josh Hart is flying out at him, gets caught up in the air, flies his arms down, and hits THJ everywhere. Clear as day foul. And is this series physical? Yes, this series is very physical. And I'm happy with the overall physicality the refs have allowed on both sides. I will take it. And if it's marginal contact at the end of the game, you do not call it. I would not want this called for the Pistons or the Knicks if it's some marginal contact at the end of the game. Let them figure it out. Marginal contact, I would never be coming on here complaining about the refs. I'm not someone to come around blaming the refs. Marginal contact, let it go. Let it go. But clear as day, foul, bumping a 3-point shooter at the end of a game to win the game. Clear as day, just ruining any chance of the shooter making the shot because you get caught up in the air playing bad defense and bump the hell out of them That is a clear as day foul, and it has to be called. It absolutely has to be called. You just ended a playoff series not calling this. Not just a game. It's not a game that, there's 2-2 now. They still can win. You have effectively ended the series because you didn't want to call a foul on a clear as day foul. And the reason why I'm so angry right now talking about this, and we're not talking about other things, is because right after the game, the referee, David Guthrie, we didn't have to wait for the last 2-minute report. The last 2-minute report tomorrow would have told us this. We didn't even have to wait because the refs immediately knew they messed up so bad that right after the game, David Guthrie is quoted, during the live play, it was judged that Josh Hart made legal defensive play. After the post-game review, we have observed that Hart makes body contact that is more than marginal to THJ, and a foul should have been called. This is 30 minutes after the game ended. 30 minutes. We didn't even have to wait. It was 30 minutes after the game that the refs made such a bad call, they had to come out and say, yeah, we messed up, we should have called it. Who's that helping? Who is that helping? You just ended the Pistons' playoff chances. And again, we don't know if the Pistons end up winning this series. What we do know is that their chances of winning it has now been taken from them because of something they could not control. This series was taken from them because of something they could not control. A clear as day foul that every single person that doesn't live in New York is on Twitter talking about being a very clear foul. You got every NBA community member, every NBA media member talking about this should have been a foul. You have the refs coming out immediately after the game saying we messed up, should have been a foul. The Pistons had their playoff chances taken from them because of the refs. This is absolutely egregious. An absolute egregious foul call. Non-foul call from the refs that just ended the Pistons' playoff chances. They might win this game and force a game 6. They're not coming back from 3-1 and winning. And if they do, it'd be historic. It would be absolutely historic if they did. Barely, it's so rare, I don't think anyone really believes that you're coming back 3-1 here. And this is not because the Pistons couldn't win this game. It's not because they didn't put themselves in position to win this game. It's because the refs swallowed the whistle on a very clear as day foul call. Clear as day. That can't happen. You cannot, that's something that cannot happen at the end of the game. Again, if it was marginal contact on a drive, let it go. If it's marginal contact on a play at the rim, let it go. A jump shooter being completely destroyed and just not allowed to even really get a shot off because of the foul. And it's so bad that you have the refs coming up right after the game saying we missed it. That's unacceptable. It's egregious, and it just ended the Pistons' playoff run. Can't happen. Just absolutely unacceptable. The refs, I don't know what they can do to punish refs. Refs should be fired. They should be fined. Something. They should lose their job. This kind of thing cannot be allowed. This can't happen. This just cannot happen. You have 2 refs, by the way, in the picture of the play right next to THA. You have one on the right of him that maybe I can buy that the one to the right of him maybe couldn't see because he was blocked off. But there's one literally standing right next to him to his left that sees it clear as day. I cannot believe, and look, like I said, this has been a fun series. This has been a very close, entertaining, physical. I love the series we've watched. This is a physical basketball series. This is playoff basketball. This is what everyone wants to watch. And like I said earlier, this might be the most fun series that everyone's watched outside of the Nuggets-Clippers ones. I think those 2 are the top 2 best series we've gotten. And for this one to be ripped from one of the teams because the refs want to choke their whistle. I don't know what to say. I have no words. I have no words. This wasn't them losing a game and now it's 2-2. You have now sent them down 3-1. You've sent them down 3-1. They don't have a real chance of coming back 3-1. You've ended the playoff series. If I wasn't working with Locked On, this would be filled with so many swear words. It would be insane. I am trying my hardest to stay like calm, but this is unacceptable, man. It's just straight up unacceptable. Straight up unacceptable. Let me know, comment section down below, how you guys feel. Did the Pistons get screwed in this game? Obvious answer, yes. Coming up, outside of the missed call, outside of the missed call, what went wrong for the Pistons to where they were in a 1-point game instead of being up 10 or whatever, I guess you want to say. Because you know how people always say, you don't put it in the ref's hands, you should have been up by 10. Well, I guess what went wrong to where the Pistons didn't play near perfect basketball so they didn't have to rely on the refs doing their damn job. We'll talk about that coming up. Basketball and hockey playoffs are here, and there's no better time to turn your sports knowledge into real cash with PrizePicks, the top destination for daily fantasy action. PrizePicks makes it simple. You pick more or less on at least 2-player projections, and you're in. You can even mix and match players across basketball, hockey, baseball, and more for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Nikola Jokic for more than 25 points and Jaylen Brown for more than 4 assists. That's the kind of thing you can do with the basketball playoffs. I'm eyeing Connor McDavid for more than 1 goal and Austin Matthews for more than 5 shots on goal. Something you can do over on hockey. The app makes it super easy. You can build a lineup in under 60 seconds, and with Taco Tuesday discounts and Flex Friday promos, there's even more value each week. And when you win, you get paid fast, sometimes in as little as 15 minutes. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. So I want to thank you guys again for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. Free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons. Hit that subscribe button or leave us a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. That's another great way to support the podcast. Head over to LockedOnDaily.com. Type in your email. You'll get a Locked On Pistons daily newsletter along with your Locked On Pistons daily podcast. Hit the description down below if you want to subscribe to this Substack where I got film breakdown coming to you guys tomorrow morning, maybe even later on tonight, but probably tomorrow morning, and other written analysis. Also, if you want to watch Pistons games with me and the rest of the Pistons fan base, click the playback room down below. You can join the live watch parties we have for the Pistons playoffs, and we'll probably continue the live watch parties after the first round if the Pistons, like we expect, probably won't come back from 3-1. We'll watch other playoff games as well. So, obviously, at the end of the game, the Pistons got absolutely hosed, and we went through in the first segment. But what else went wrong? Why weren't the Pistons already up by 5? Why wasn't this a clear as day victory? Why wasn't this so far away from being close that we didn't put the Pistons didn't put the refs in a position to do their jobs? What happened? Well, there's quite a few things that I think you can point to, and I'm ready for this conversation. I'm gonna go crazy with this, and I know some people are going to disagree, but I don't care because the numbers are on my side. So we'll start off with this. The Pistons are turning the ball over way too much. The amount they are turning the ball over is keeping the Knicks in the game. If they were not turning the ball over as much as they were, and you do give credit to the Knicks do have been playing physical defense, and the turnovers, part of it has been the Knicks playing physical and forcing the turnovers. But a lot of the Pistons turnovers are also just unforced. Cade had 7 turnovers. Probably about 3 of those are unforced turnovers. Assar had 4 turnovers. I'd say at least 2 of those were unforced, especially the last one when he throws the ball out of bounds. Duren has 3 turnovers, 2 of them, 1 of them in transition, unforced. They ended the game with 17 turnovers. You can't do that. You're not going to win games, turn the ball over 17 times. Now, the Pistons actually would say, we've been in a position to win the game both times. We just had the refs take it from us, despite turning the ball over a lot. Well, fair enough. But you would be way ahead and wouldn't be in this situation if you did not turn the ball over. There was multiple chances in this game, just like in Game 1 and Game 3, where the Pistons get a stop and have a chance to get out in transition and really put their foot on the necks of the Knicks and solidify momentum on their side. And instead of doing that, they turn the ball over and the Knicks score. And it's a 5-point, 4-point swing. Those kind of plays have killed the Pistons and really could swing games. And they just haven't been able to convert them consistently enough. That's reason number 1, I would say. Turnovers were bad. Reason number 2. They can't hit threes. Their shooters are not hitting shots, which will come up in the next reason we're going to get to. But their shooters just haven't been able to hit threes. THA, outside of going 6 for 6 in the first half of the last game, has struggled. He went 4 of 13 in this game. Now, he did hit 2 threes in the fourth quarter that he kind of turned it around a little bit, I guess. But 4 of 13 from 3, that's less than 33% from the field or from deep. Beasley, who has been one of the best three-point shooters all year, just can't make shots in this series. He's 3 of 9 from deep. He was 3 of his last 19 before this game. He went 3 of 9 in this game. He did, which hopefully, if you want to have hope for the Pistons moving forward, he did all 3 of those threes he hit came in the second half. He started to turn it up a little bit. So hopefully this means that, things are on the up and up. And maybe he can get back to what he was for all season, really. Not most, all of the season. And he can show up like this in New York in Game 5. But the Pistons shot 24% from deep in this game. Their 2 volume shooters both shot under 33% from deep. You're just not going to win. You're not going to win like that. You're not going to win enough games like that, I should say. Because, again, they could have won this game with it. But you're not going to win enough games like that. So that would be reason number 2. Their shooters just have to hit shots. And before we get to the reason that's going to ruffle feathers, I do want to say this. Cade, I think watching Cade in these playoffs without a secondary creator really at all, he just put up 25, 10, and 10 with 4 blocks. I have no questions after watching Cade in the playoffs about whether he will show up and be a playoff riser in the future. I have no questions about that. All I've seen is that Cade does need help, and he needs a secondary creator to take some of this offensive pressure off of him. Last I checked, he was second in the playoffs in touches per game, right behind Jokic. He needs someone else that can create some offense in the half court to where teams can't just trap and double him every single possession. So I do think overall this has been a really successful series, playoff season for Cade. And this game, 25, 10, 10, and 4, it's only the second time, according to ESPN, the only second time any player has reached those numbers in a playoff game. That third quarter he had was I forget what the exact numbers in the third quarter was, but the third quarter numbers he had was only matched by Oscar Robertson in playoff history. This has been no matter what, this has been an overwhelmingly, I would say, successful playoff season for Cade Cunningham. With that said, in the first half, he was struggling to get it going. He ended up waking up in the second half and was trying to send the Pistons to a win, and he should have if the refs blew their damn whistle. But if Cade was as good as he was in the second half as he was in the first half, maybe the Pistons win by 10. But it took Cade to the second half to really get it going and really start to play really well. So maybe if he plays a little better early, things don't get to this close. Now I get to the reason. Now I'm ready to go to bat for and really go to war for. This is probably easily the most frustrating topic covering this team, and I don't comprehend how people don't see this. For people who are on the other side of this argument, I want you guys to at least just listen to what I'm about to say. Just listen. Please. The Pistons decide not to close this game with Assar Thompson. They decide not to close this game with Assar again, despite him in 22 minutes being a +8, despite Jalen Brunson through 3 quarters. At one point, I'm pretty sure he was 6 of 17 at one point, early in the fourth, I believe. He went crazy in the fourth. But at one point, Assar had completely taken Jalen Brunson out of the game. He had completely taken him out of the game, and the Pistons were winning his minutes by 8. When they made that run in the third to take the lead in this game, it was because Assar Thompson played a large majority of this third quarter, and he only gave up 14 points. In the first quarter, when Assar came out early, 29 points given up. So you're winning his minutes by 8 in this game. They didn't close with him. What happened in the fourth? The Pistons gave up 30 points to the New York Knicks. After the third quarter, giving up 14 points, they take Assar out, don't really play him for the fourth quarter, and they get outscored by 30. Or they give up 30, get outscored by 8. And in the minutes that Assar did not play in the fourth quarter, the Pistons were outscored 24-13, which means in the 5 minutes Assar did play in that fourth, they only gave up 6 points. See, this is what people need to understand. Assar does have limitations in the half court offensively. He does have to get better. He does have to improve his offensive game. But it doesn't matter about his offensive limitation because of everything else he does massively overwhelms that It massively overwhelms that. The Pistons, for 60-plus games now, have been better with him on the floor despite his offensive limitations. And let me say this. Did he have a turnover in the fourth that was inexcusable when he threw out of bounds? Yes. Did he miss a shot through contact on Mikal Bridges at the rim? Yes, he did. My question is this. Why do people see those plays and immediately think, can't take it, can't handle it, get him out the game, can't handle him offensively, but then are okay with repeated, when you take him out, over and over and over and over and over, giving up dribble penetration, and over giving up catch and shoot threes, and over not getting stops, and then over not getting on transition. And then the point of subbing him out is, the idea behind subbing him out is, okay, the half-court offense with him is bad, so if we bring in shooters, the half-court offense will be good, and we'll just go shot for shot with the Knicks. That's the thought process. So the thought process is the offense is better with Assar off the floor than it is with them on the floor. That's just flat out wrong. It's just, the numbers, it's just wrong. It's not true. Through four playoff games for the Detroit Pistons, the offensive rating with Assar Thompson is 108.3. With him off the floor, it's 107.2. The Pistons offense is 1.1 points better with Assar Thompson on the floor. The defensive rating with Assar on the floor is 100. The defensive rating with him off the floor is 113.1. Their defense is 13.1 points worse with him off the floor. And with him on the floor, the offense is better. Let me say it again. The Pistons offense is better with Assar on the floor by 1.1 points. Why is that? The reason is because you're bringing in these shooters to try to create a half-court offense that is just not there. It doesn't matter if you bring in these shooters. The Pistons don't have enough creators in the half-court for them to have a good half-court offense. Therefore, despite you taking Assar out because he, quote-unquote, hurts the offense, the shooting that you're bringing in doesn't matter because the Pistons don't have enough creators in the half-court to make it work anyways, and your shooters in this series are shooting worse than 32% from deep. So while your offense is actually getting worse, why is your offense getting worse? You're bringing in shooters, you're taking out a guy who can't shoot. Why is your offense getting worse? Because the Pistons' offense is generated by their stops on defense, getting out in transition, and scoring. That's why the offense is better with Assar on the floor. Because despite his half-court offense limitations, he still overwhelms that and ends up providing still a plus to their offense because he generates stops and generates transition looks for the Pistons, which is why their offense is still better with him on the floor. Not playing Assar in this fourth quarter, not playing him 30-plus minutes, despite him having, yes, half-court limitations, makes no sense because he has the second largest on-off swing of any Piston in this series. Because the replacements that, if you have replacements for Assar that you were bringing in that actually were making a huge difference to the half-court offense and were creators, then I would understand it. Then it would make sense. The people you are bringing in for Assar can't create individually, can't get dribble penetration, are shooting less than 32% from deep. Oh, and also are 500 times worse defensively. So now, not only are you not solving your theoretical offensive problem, you are making your defensive problem 5,000 times worse, which is why this team has been so much better with him on the floor. Can everyone understand this? So yes, is it an Assar turnover in that fourth quarter? Was that unacceptable? Was it bad for the eyes to see? Yes. But people are overreacting to his mistakes with that turnover and a missed shot at the rim. They are overreacting to that and not correctly reacting to the fact with him off the floor, they can't stop dribble penetration. Their defense is horrible. And the fact that their offense is still better with him on the floor, because no matter with him on or off the floor, the Pistons half-court offense all season has not been good. And the reason why the Pistons are here where they're at is because of how well they are defensively with them on the floor, and because they're first in fast break points, they're second or first in transition points, and second or first in points off turnovers. That's why their offense is better with Assar on the floor, because their transition offense is so much better than their half-court offense, no matter who you put on the floor. They just don't have enough creators to go the offense over defense route. They don't. They don't have enough creators within the half court for you to honestly say, we're going to take Assar off the floor, tank our defense, and try to go offense. They just don't have enough creators to do it. They don't. If you had a legit creator to do it, I would understand. You don't. Instead, what you end up with is or Malik Beasley and THJ guarding Mikal Bridges or Jalen Brunson. So now the Pistons, who had a 9-point lead when Assar left the floor, get outscored or had an 8-point lead when Assar left the floor, get outscored by 9 because they can't get stops. They gave up 24 points in 6.5 minutes because they can't get stops. This is a defensive identity team. This team's identity is on the defensive end of the floor. Going away from that identity is losing them games. And despite that, the refs swallowed their whistle. They should have won anyways. Don't get that confused. They should have won anyways despite this if the refs were just blown their damn whistle. But the whole Assar thing is just massively frustrating to me. It's massively frustrating because the eye test and the numbers for 60-plus games and over the 4 games in the playoffs tell you that the offense is not actually worse with him on the floor because he's generating their best offense, which is fast break, transition, getting stops, and running. They don't have a good half-court offense no matter with Assar on or off the floor. All you're doing by taking Assar off the floor is then eliminating their best offense. Let me know in the comment section down below or over on Twitter at Kukuil how you feel about this. Coming up, is the series over? They're down 3-1. Is the series over? We'll talk about it coming up. The NBA playoffs are almost here, and FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action. Right now, when you join FanDuel and place your first $5 bet, you'll get $250 in bonus bets if your bet wins. I love how FanDuel makes betting so easy, whether it's picking my favorite team or diving into player props. From three-pointers to steals to assists, FanDuel has so many ways to bet your favorite player props. Plus, after the game tips off, you can even combine live prop bets into a same-game parlay for a chance to win big. I've told you guys this many times before. Started using FanDuel years ago. Haven't turned back since. Use it all the time. It's super fun to use, super self-explanatory, super easy to use, but most importantly, super fun to use. So don't miss out. Head to FanDuel.com and claim your $250 in bonus bets today after you place your first $5 bet if that bet wins. Again, at FanDuel.com, get $250 in bonus bet if your first $5 bet wins with FanDuel. So I want to thank you guys again for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We're free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons. Hit that subscribe button or leave us a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. There's another great way to support the podcast. You guys know it, LockedOnDaily.com. Get the newsletter. You guys know about the description down below. Substack, Playback Room, all that stuff. Is the series over for the Detroit Pistons? It probably is. Sadly, it probably is. Teams don't come back from 3-1 very often at all. I believe the exact number I saw was around 4.8% of teams have come back from 3-1 deficit. I believe I just saw that stat from ESPN. It might be slightly off with the numbers, but it's around there. Look, this is incredibly... I'm trying to find the right way to... This, overall, no matter what, to keep in perspective, this has been a major plus for the Detroit Pistons. Every single game they've played against a team that is the 3 seed, every single game they've played against a team that is massively more talented than them, they've been in it. And I'm sure the Pistons feel like they should be up 3-1. They blew game 1. They feel like they could have won game 3. They probably feel like they should have won game 2. Honestly, I feel like the Pistons, every single point of this series, in each game, they feel like they had a chance to win. At the very least, this series should be 2-2. Cade has looked like a franchise player. Hasn't been perfect, but a majority of that comes from the fact he has no other creator in the half court on this roster. But overall, everyone's going to walk away from this series after especially 25, 10, and 10 and 4, and then also the game 2 that he played. Or they did win. I don't know why I said earlier they feel like they should have won game 2. They did win game 2, but that game 2 they won. Cade has been good. Cade has been really good, and you should feel like in the future when they get that secondary creator, he's going to be a playoff riser. I've seen that. I've seen all I've needed to see. Duren has gotten playoff experience. We're not going to talk about, some of the things I thought he, made mistakes in this game, especially late on Cat. He gave up a wide open 3 to Cat on the right wing to start the avalanche of a run from the Knicks at the end of the game. Just I don't understand why there's space being given to Cat at all when he catches and shoots. You should be all the way up on him. Being 2 steps off him is not a closeout for Cat. That's a wide open, clean look for Cat. That was probably the cleanest look he gets all game. But Duren, he's getting playoff experience. And despite some of the mistakes, he's giving it everything he has. He's getting playoff experience. Assar, despite everything I just said, he clearly has limitations. He clearly has areas he needs to work on in his game. He clearly sees how defenses are going to try to guard him in the playoffs. He's getting this experience. He has to work on it. He sees what he has to do. Ron Holland even was getting a few minutes. Overall, in totality, this has been an overall positive for the Detroit Pistons. It's just hard. It's incredibly hard to say that. Incredibly hard to say that when Pistons fans, the Pistons players, NBA media, outside of Detroit people, let's just say that, NBA fans, media people, whatever, outside of Detroit, all feel like they just had one taken away from them and this series should still be alive. It's hard to sit here and say that when you feel like this series should be alive right now and the Pistons should be in prime position to still win. It's hard to say that. The Pistons had this ripped from them. This is terrible. I keep going back to it. Overall, keep perspective. This is still a massively positive season, and still you're getting absolutely what you want here. But they just had, it's going to be hard for anyone to sit back and say that right now. Anybody. Players, fans, teams, coaches, executives, anyone. It's going to be hard for anyone to sit back and say that after how they just lost this game. And again, to the Knicks, and for the Knicks fans that happen to listen to this, the Knicks have played good. The Knicks may ended up winning this series anyways. They've played physical defense too. But we should have been able to get to see it. If they were going to win this series after 2-2, we should have been able to get to see that happen. It shouldn't have been taken away like this. It's terrible. That's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you guys. Making Locked On Pistons first listen of every single day. Free and available on all your podcast platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. 5-star review, whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. Description down below. Support me in all the other ways. LockedOnDaily.com. Get your Locked On Pistons daily newsletter. Till the next one, guys. Is what it is. Go Pistons. Stay safe. Catch y'all later.